making your way in the world today, you really need a pod. Why don't you put your headphones in and give this one a shot? Wouldn't you like to just listen away and go to a place where everybody knows who you are? Listen to Two Guys Brew, ha ha. Cold Street Brewery and Full Buddy Cast, two of the greatest names. Why don't you go and listen to this episode?
Are you too hot or too cold or just right?
Oh, I'm always just right.
All right, just right. Okay. All right. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Full Buddy Cast presents Brew Ha Ha. Two guys together, which is another name we were going to call it, but we decided instead to call it Brew Ha Ha. It's got the man, the myth, the legend, Sean McDonald, the owner and brewer of Cold Street Brewery down in Enumclaw, Washington, in the lovely Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Sorry, we never get to hear the intro.
Yeah, you know, now you do.
Yeah.
I do whenever I
that.
listen.
And it's good, doesn't it? Get you in the mood, right?
Yeah, it totally gets me in the mood.
And that's
Yeah, my name's Sean McDonald. I own Cold Street Brewery, where anybody can come down and enjoy a brew.
1627.
1627 Cole Street, open every day at 2 p.m.
Gosh, that voice is amazing in the background. You guys gonna hear that twice. What a treat for you guys.
Well, we need that fading in because it kind of gets the show
Gets
off
going.
and running.
Joey's
right?
always asking this. Listen, I barely figured out this equipment. I'm happy where I'm at right now. But I will get on that. I will work on that. Ooh, that's a little. What is that? It's some moonshine he brought in today. We got beer. Oh my gosh, little beer of the week.
So I'm getting the first pour because it's going to be a little different.
Well, also by the way,
So this episode, I want to jump right into it.
Yeah.
I'm pouring the beer of the week, and the reason why I brought this beer is we had some questions come from our fan base.
Yes.
One of our huge supporters, Kellen Hall. I love Kellen. Kellen and I played softball for a long time. Obviously, we went to high school together and all that too. But he sent in some questions about some offshoot beers, and that's why I brought this in. He asked if I have any experience with sours. I do have some experience with sours, but the problem with sours is they're kind of a difficult beer to really have in your brew house without having a separate brewery area for it. We touched
sours.
on that. We touched on that a while ago with Luis when Luis was in here.
Yeah, that's right.
So he asked if I had any experience, and if I had any. I have had barrels that I got from next door, Pursuit Distilling, and then also Taps Owl Winery, used barrels, and I've been aging some sours for quite some time. This sour right here, aged for we're at about 19 months of aging, which is pretty long.
Yeah.
But it was also the COVID and like I said, you have to have a separate tap and that sort of thing. So I didn't really want to pursue that when it's a niche market where not everybody's going to come for it.
Sure.
That's also in Kellen's questions. He's like, why are they so damn delicious?
Yeah.
Well, that's your opinion, sir.
Yeah, I'm not a big sour guy myself, but
all right, so
we'll take a sip.
Let's take a sip of this. So I did with the sour, I aged it, but I've added some puree to it to after the fact, after fermenting.
Okay.
So that way it's got a little sweetness.
A little sweet. Thank you very much.
Because the backside is pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Kind of like a cider.
Yeah.
It's got a little sting to it, but
Wow, it's a good little taste.
It's one of those. So what I always try and say is don't judge on your first sip. So a sour is always at least a minimum of 3 sip before you pass any judgment. Because one thing is you walk into it and your palate has been set for sweet, normal things that we're used to drinking. Like you just drank a soda pop. That's kind of sweet.
Right.
This is going to be really tart, really sharp to that. So you have to
ease yourself in.
You have to take a small sip, a tiny sip, then take kind of like a medium sip, then take a little bit of a longer sip, and then actually sip like you would normally sip a beer. You have to
Gotcha.
adjust your palate to it because it's really sharp. But after you adjust your palate, then you can really start tasting all the flavors. There are flavor levels to it. Obviously, it's sharp. It's sweet. It's really tangy. But
Yeah, take
What
a
do we
sip
got?
over there so I could talk. Speaking of aged sours that are sharp and sweet and tangy, we got. You want to introduce your guest, or do you want me to go ahead and say? Because I feel like you jumped right into this beer.
wow, the beer is the most.
Beer
Beer is always
is
the most important thing.
Yes, it is.
That voice right there is Chris Streuli.
Hello.
Yeah, we've talked about Chris many times. Chris fills in for me when I can come up and so I can come up and do these podcasts. Right now, we've taken a couple Mondays off, and so Cole Street has been closed on Mondays, and that's where Chris has been able to join us up here. And,
But Cole Street is not closed on Mondays, possibly when you're listening to this.
it's no longer closed on Mondays. We took a couple Mondays off.
Yes, that's right.
That's
yes. But
that's
now he's back
over
at
and
it.
done. We're
Go
about to
say hi to
7
him.
days a week.
All right. When does Chris usually? When do we see him there? When does he make a guest cameo at Cole Street?
So on busy Saturday nights, and then Monday or Tuesday, we kind of alternate whether it's Monday or Tuesday. And he's down there, at least, if not other days. Yeah,
Sundays every once in a while.
yeah, and then Sundays every once in a while. Yeah.
But it depends on the day, too, because if I've been in there just to hang out, and then I've been brought in behind the...
He's the volunteer call-in, like, hey,
when Sean's
I'm
got to
kinda
run and
swamped.
get some food or something,
Yeah.
he,
You're the relief pitcher.
Yeah.
You're there. You kind of get the old. What else would be? You
He's definitely the setup. Yep.
setup guy. The setup man.
He's the
Okay,
setup man,
I like
for
that.
sure.
I like that. How many saves has Chris got though? Has he got?
Yeah,
any?
he's got a few saves.
Got a few saves
for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Any wins?
He's a valuable member to the team
Any
for
win-
sure.
Any wins?
Well, yeah, he plays on nights that I'm up here, so
So
that's
it's got
a
some
win.
wins.
That's a win.
And how many losses?
I haven't lost him yet.
I'm kidding. All right. Well, Brew Haha is a brewery-based podcast. We've got Sean and myself, so we're going to talk about brews. But this one's going to be a little different. Typically, we talk about brews. Typically, we talk about these different types of things. This was earlier for me. What did you want to do with, since we have Chris on the mic
So
tonight?
since we got Chris up here, obviously he's already been on the crew, but on the brew crew. But
Ooh, I like that.
we wanted to just touch on how he became on the brew crew.
Yeah.
like like kind of our interview process. Like, what do you bring
Oh,
to the
so-
table at the brewery? Like, why are-
So is this an exit interview, or is this
hopefully.
or is this an interview where we like we do a job, like we do like a job interview? What would
do like
you
a job
here?
Do like a
Okay.
job interview.
All right,
like
what's your
what-
experience?
Why do I
What's
have to
your
interview
strengths?
if I've already
Well,
got the job?
you know
Well,
what?
you might not have
Who
it
knows?
if
You
you
know,
don't
this
answer
is,
the
this is
question.
yearly review time, mid-year
So,
review.
so
There
Chris,
you go. It's my annual review.
so how many how many types of beer are there?
2.
Boom. Except for we're drinking the third one right here.
Wow. Yeah.
So far, so good. You also got this thing.
And by the way, when you're telling us how to drink it, it would be nice if you tell it before I just took a giant gulp
Yeah, me
first.
too.
I didn't sip.
That's where I was stalling on the pour.
That was-
like
I didn't-
obviously I was pushing the pour out, and that's where Travis jumped on me for jumping into the beer. But that's why I was jumping into the beer.
Sorry, I was jumping into a beer or our guest.
Well,
Yeah.
I get that a lot. I shouldn't.
he's going to be here the whole time. The beer is not going to be here the whole time. So
Right. So we're sipping on some scissor. We've got Chris. Chris, any other? As I ask my questions, do you have any experience outside of Cole Street Brewery when it comes to?
yeah. Where are you from, Chris? And
Yeah,
Tell my story?
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell a quick, brief story.
Well,
it started in a dark.
I grew up.
Yeah.
No. I am not born and raised here,
Well,
but
thanks for coming on, Chris.
and the rest is history. No, I've lived here my whole life since about 5. I would say went to Westwood, went to the old junior high that's no longer there. It's now a skate park, and so I'm a little bit older than these gentlemen.
Yeah, not much though.
Well,
I
way
mean,
older than I am.
you know what's weird?
27
We were
and a half.
talking about this the other
Same.
day when I got a job when I was like 18, 19, and I would meet someone in the break room. I'd find out when they graduated. Then that would that really put it. When did you graduate?
1900 and it was 1983.
83. I was 2 years old. 2
Yeah.
years old. That's crazy.
Why?
Because I feel like you're younger than that.
I feel younger.
Yeah.
Well, my heart's younger.
That.
Yeah, he has a brand new heart.
Yeah.
Well,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
used one, but
Yeah.
previously owned.
So you graduate high school. What do you do after high school?
After high school, went to Green River. I played soccer there for 2 years. And then I was planning on going to college and finishing that, but I ended up getting a job in Seattle at where my dad used to work. And
Doing what?
he sold hotel and restaurant supplies. So I
Okay.
started out in the warehouse. Then I moved into the sales department.
Sales part. Wow.
Then I got an outside sales job, and then the company sold, and that didn't work out.
You made billions of dollars.
Yeah.
It sold to Amazon.
Well, no. And so then I figured, sales is my thing. So I went and got a job in Auburn at a company selling steel. And then after that, I took a job with the company. Again, the company got sold. So I don't know if it's me or
Hey,
what.
Sean.
So just
Anheuser-Busch is going to be knocking on my door
I was
soon.
going to say, you might want to be careful. Yeah. Don't take every phone call. And so then, and then after that, I took a job with the company, but I moved to California for 6 years. And then I ended up back here. And then I got out of that gig, and then I got into the car business.
So California, where at in California? So we can judge you really hard.
Yeah. Fucking
I lived in San Ramon.
I don't even know where that's at.
Well,
It's
then,
beach. You can surf there, can't you?
no.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, no.
What's the
'cause
point
you're
of living
nowhere
in
near-
California if you can't
nowhere
surf?
near- No. It
Was it the Redwoods area?
No, East Bay.
Oh, I used to buy.
Oh, you can-
I used
there's
to
good
buy,
fishing down
yeah,
there.
I used to buy a lot of shoes and
Well,
hoodies from East Bay.
Is that East Bay? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's East Bay. You got the
Yeah, and the jerseys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
east
it's
of San Francisco. So east of San Francisco, out in the country.
So were you ever a Niner fan? This is
No.
off the record.
Never.
Okay, good. So far, you're getting this job. All right. So not a Niner fan. Did you ever fall into the Oakland or not? Was the Raiders there at that time or no?
They were there. Yes.
Did you ever become a Raider fan?
I was actually growing up before the Seahawks. I was a Raider fan because I'm left-handed, and my hero is Kenny Stabler.
Kenny Stabler,
The snake.
Yeah. Now, when Bo was on the team, Bo Jackson, were you a Raider fan then, or were you a Seahawks fan?
I was the Seahawks fan.
So you're on Boz's side, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Did you ever have the Boz mullet with the Seahawk lines in it?
I did have a mullet, but it wasn't the Boz mullet.
I don't know. I'd have to say Bo is a much better athlete.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch his 30 for 30, that man,
Oh,
holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
is he
forget
an
about
athlete.
it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like.
So you hate Bo Jackson? Got it.
Yeah.
Did you
Actually, I went to a Seahawks game in Oakland, and if you know about that place, that's,
Did you wear a Seahawks?
I did not.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's
We're
okay.
Raiders.
There was a
So
gal.
play it safe.
There was a gal. When we got there. There was a gal. This was back when Chad Brown was on the
I love
Seahawks.
Chad Brown. Okay, left end or right end?
He was a linebacker.
Right outside or left outside?
It doesn't matter.
High ankle
He's
sprain.
left out.
She was wearing. She was. We get to the stadium, and we're in the concourse, and she's got the full-on Chad Brown jersey, and she's got a cast, she's on crutches, and her cast goes above her knee, so it's just.
Yeah.
And she's standing there, and there's this group of Raider fans surrounding her, and they're just letting her have it about being a Seahawks fan, and I'm thinking to myself, thank God I didn't wear a jersey because
You're a dude.
I'm a guy.
Yeah.
Not handicapped.
I'm not handicapped.
At the time.
At the time. But yeah, so it was.
That might mark you down a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I didn't step in. So
So, what's it going to take to bring the mullet back?
I tried to, but then my daughter got married, and I had to cut my hair.
So now, what's holding you back from bringing the mullet back?
My son gets married in May.
I was going to say, the next one's getting hitched.
Chandler gets married in May, so as soon as that's over with,
It's Mullet City.
then I'm going for it.
I love it. Okay.
My wife and daughter think that's dumb, but what do I care?
So you moved back into Washington area. What year was this?
2002.
Okay, so then your kids probably, are they in high school at this time?
No,
They just graduated?
no.
Just
Are they-
college. Yeah, just
In
graduate
2002?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
My daughter graduated in 2010, and Chandler was 2014. So
Oh, okay. So shoot. All right. So, oh,
my,
wait. Yeah,
my
that's right.
daughter came back, and I think we came back, and she was like in 5th grade, and she went to Southwood, and she came back, and she's got blonde hair, and she's tan, and everybody's like, "Ooh, the California
Ooh, the
girl,
babe, yeah.
the California girl," and I'm like, "Yeah, no,
No.
no, we're
No.
she's Enum Claw."
You go dye your hair right now.
Yeah, yeah. And you're only in the 5th grade. So that didn't work.
Makes you feel weird that I said babe, but so
That's why I made
like
sure
a
I
kid.
mentioned that again.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. I was moving on. You probably got a lawsuit right now towards me, so you still might keep your job. We'll see. Any questions on Sean's side? I kind of took this over on the old. I just want to get the background. I don't know. I think you're more the brew crew
yeah. I was
questions.
just trying to feel out what he knows about beers. So he
Not
knows how
much. I'll
he
say
kno-
that right now.
He knows how many styles of beer there are.
Two.
Or excuse me, types of beer. Styles, there's hundreds.
Yeah.
Do you know what IBU stands for?
No.
So in an IPA, everybody asks like what the IBU is.
And I'm always
If I put it
asking.
that way, would
I'm
you know?
always asking you to put that up on there because I get a lot of that, and
Nah.
I never know the answer.
At the brewery, it is posted at the brewery. It's just not posted at the Courier building because we don't have the room to put it up. IBU would be International Bittering Units. Just
Okay.
log that in there. Every beer has an International Bittering Unit to it, but the IPA is the most predominant one because it's really bitter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then AA, this is normally what I would ask people that are going to work behind the scenes, like in the brewing side. Like, do you know what AA stands for? And I don't mean alcohol.
That's what I was going to
Anonymous.
guess.
No,
I do not know the answer.
it'd be
to that.
alpha acids, which is for
And why is that important?
the hops that you use. So in every beer, you have to add bitterness, and you add the hops to create the bitterness. But there's different alpha acids are stronger than others, so it's pretty significant on the brewing side. Like if I make a brown, I'm not going to use like a really strong alpha acid. I'd use that for an IPA. But it's just seeing where you're at on that.
Wait, real quick. How do you pour?
Yeah, that was my next.
No, it wasn't.
step
That was my question. That was not yours.
my next step was all right. Let's go on to the serving side.
Yeah. Something I might know a little bit about.
Yeah. How do you pour? How do you get a nice pour out of tap?
Well, you don't want to just stick it under there and pull the lever and hope for the best, because that will not work.
That's usually
out.
me at a urinal, like after several drinks.
Yeah. No. I would say at least a 45-degree angle, maybe, and let her go in. Then as it's coming up, you slowly work it to the top.
Now, would you say I'm going to give you
Straighten it
give you a multiple choice question on this?
Okay.
A good head on a beer. Okay, on a nice, let's say we're going to say nice IPA, something that you're going to want a decent head on. Is that going to be a centimeter? Is that going to be an inch? Or let's say half inch. Should we go inch or 2 inch? What's the best head on a
I would
IPA?
say between an inch and a half.
What's your thought on that one there?
So a more aromatic beer, you want a bigger head. So he's correct. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
The hops, really open up on the top, so you want a good head on it, so people can smell it as they're going in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my only critique is like you should also the 45 degree. You're completely correct, but right at the end, especially if you're pouring like an IPA where you want a good head, you want to drop it straight on, so it's dropping straight in the middle, and it's just
That's
splashing and
Definitely
creating that
gonna
big
sound
head.
good for the old podcast. That's gonna not hurt anyone's ears when you just slam that down. Hey, you're back. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Shut the door and leave, please.
How did you get out here?
19-minute edit. Hey, you.
Break time.
No, what's that?
Wine time.
We just start. We're like halfway through. You're killing the vibe. What's going on?
All right, you can edit me out.
What's going on?
My mom's gonna watch Jacqueline on Saturday, so we can go down to Bank for the break.
We spend
Ooh.
the night.
There's breweries down there.
And we might go
Topless golf. All right. It's going to be kind of cold.
That'll make it better.
So, speaking of head, now, do you feel that should change now that we've hit 2021 and they should have a new name for talking about the top of a beer so it doesn't sound weird when you're...
Why does it sound weird?
Because it's now associated with...
You associate it with something.
That's what everyone is listening, and you say, to get good head on a beer,
To
go
head.
in... That's these things that we probably should shake. So what if you had a magic wand and you could shake it around, the magic wand, and you could change the name from head to a different name, what would you choose for the top of a beer?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is foam, but then that sounds a little negative.
Third grade, yeah. Okay.
When you're
foam.
sliding into home and your pants are full of foam.
Diarrhea.
Now, I don't know. That's a good question. I just always thought of it as head.
Okay, all right. See,
I don't know why it has
that
to
was
be-
a trick question.
I don't know why it has to be different.
There you go. That was a trick question. I was trying to get you to falter, but most breweries and brewers would look at you and say,
I'm not changing for
I'm
it.
not nothing.
No,
Not nothing.
It is what it is.
What would you change it to, Sean?
Beer is beer.
Beer is beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Head or no head.
I usually have a greater chance after some beer of getting...
Depends on if it's a dark beer or a light beer. How much head do you want on it?
I'm talking about the beer. Okay, so other question. What's your thought on lines? Like, do you like lines? Do you not like lines? What's your thought on
What do you mean, like at the brewery?
Yeah, people start walking up. Like, how do you feel? Are you like anxious? Do you want to get through it? Do you want to just have a nice combo with everyone? What do you like to do here?
I would like to get everybody a beer and get them out of the line. The sooner we serve them, the better.
The sooner you get the first beer in their hand, the
Yes.
sooner they can have their second.
So Sean Taffer would agree with you on that.
Sean Taffer.
That's who John Taffer is,
oh,
right?
I watch it all the time.
Now
yeah.
he's Sean Taffer. So
It's all about flow.
Have you
Got
ever-
to flow in that room.
Sean, have you ever walked in and yelled, "Shut it down"? Ever?
Actually, there was one occasion. So it was early on in the COVID thing, and I went across the street to pay my bills, and I came back in. I'm like, "There's still people in here." I'm like, "No, shut it down! Get out! You gotta go!" Yeah,
Because you didn't want fines and
yeah.
emails.
Yep, yep.
and
It was right on the borderline. There was still 5 minutes left,
you're
but
still-
in my mind, I want everybody out 10-minute gap because
Right.
there's always that last person that needs to
Straight
go to the
out.
bathroom or something. I can't be inside. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
So there has been one time.
Well, that and the rules change, so you're wondering,
they are
is it
constantly
I
changing.
can't serve before the end, or did they have to literally be out of the building at the end? You know,
Yeah,
better
that
be
was
on the
that was
safe
one thing
side.
that changed initially too. So last service was at 10 o'clock. Then they changed it to you have to pull drinks at 10 o'clock. So we would serve up into 10 o'clock, and then you could just hang out. You could hang out until you buy 3 drinks and just have them and drink until midnight. But then it changed. No, yank the drinks at 10. That was
'em
a
out.
huge difference.
Get 'em out.
Game changer.
Okay. Now, I would like to ask you this question:
yes, sir.
3 things that you would revamp at Cole Street Brewery. What would the 3 things, if you could change anything or add to it? Not that it'd be change, not like it's a bad thing, but you're like, oh, we need. You almost said something like, "I've been telling you, we need a sign about what IBUs or a definition thing." What else would you do?
Well, we got more swag, which is good. We were getting a little low, and now that's up, because we get a lot of people asking about that. So I'm glad we're doing that again.
Yeah, tourists love stuff to take home and
Yeah.
talk to their families about. Yeah.
Yeah, because people will come in and
Sport local,
Yeah.
Out of town.
and then so that's already been done.
Would you add anything to the line of like hoodies? They got hoodies, hats, T-shirts. Would you add anything else that you think is something that would be interesting to sell or maybe a missing?
halter tops,
Okay.
maybe.
Some
Summertime.
spaghetti straps, at
Yeah.
least, something like that. Okay.
No, I don't know.
How do I put my logo on that? On the back?
Yeah.
Or like on each boob?
Yeah.
I mean,
You do have a circled logo.
Running shorts. I don't know.
I was thinking about shorts, but not running ones, like the 5-pocket shorts. I like 5-pocket shorts.
But yeah, so
I would, I don't know, clean the kitchen. That's kind of an inside joke, but
We don't have a kitchen, so I don't know what he's talking about. We don't serve food.
actually, I would like this. He actually did this after I was there, and I helped a couple times. Me and Sean are different sizes. I'm an adult size. He's a child size.
yeah.
And so he used to like to put things wherever he liked. And the walkways were very narrow behind the bar. And,
Yes.
and
Okay.
in my predicament,
Big butt.
well, not so much that, but I'm not as nimble as I used
Yes.
to
Big hips.
Yeah. The hips.
So, yeah.
Childbearing.
Child, yeah, birthing hips. And so I couldn't get through all the time because you have to go behind the one bar to get into the cooler to get the ciders and things. So it was always, hey, we need to keep this area open because I'm constantly tripping over stuff.
You're always tripping.
He is always tripping.
Always
I'm
tripping. How tall are you, Chris?
How's that matter?
I'm just curious. How tall are you?
5'11".
It's coming to your. We're going.
Because I was going to say, I'm surprised you said 5'11". I thought you were taller than that.
Why?
Well, because I thought you were taller than that.
No.
I was going to say, maybe, have you ever watched Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome? Beyond the Thunderdome. 2-man enter, 1-man leave.
Right.
Have you ever seen that? Okay. Have you ever thought about throwing Sean on your back and serving that way, like Master Blaster? And then you guys could probably get that line down so much faster. One's ringing up, you're ringing up, Sean's grabbing the beers. Have you thought about that yet?
With him on my back?
Yeah, like Master Blaster.
We already do that style where like he rings up and then, like we already do that, but not with me on his back.
No.
Well, have you thought about strapping back to back? One's pouring because you guys got the pour behind, the cash in front or the cash register in front. One person, and then you guys keep spinning around.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Do that.
Like
This,
with those.
this brings me back to my original thought that I warned Chris to that this was going to be his 10 minutes, and he has 10 minutes on stage to be a comedian. I even said that he could. Well, I see what you're trying. You're trying to be funny. It's not working.
It is
Bring
working.
the hot-
It's
yeah.
working well.
Well, Chris has 10-minute act. I even told him he could write it down because the
I don't
camera's
have
not
10
on.
minutes.
So
Are you
I
gonna
don't even
try?
I don't even have 1 minute.
Can I give you some tips?
Sure.
Show up when the headliner finishes.
I was going to say I do have a poop story I could
Yeah,
tell.
those
from
are
Safeway.
those are-
always do that.
Diamond, that's a diamond.
That is a
Yeah.
number one.
when in doubt, you want somebody to laugh. You bring
Up a poop story.
Yeah.
Several of them.
Stupid.
Several of them.
I don't pay people for poop stories. Sorry.
You didn't pay me at all.
Exactly my point.
See?
Speaking of, just kidding. Anything more you wanted to talk to Chris, interview-wise? Any more questions for him? Mm-hmm. You know, this might be that special edition one, the 30-minute, the half hour.
Well, I was also like, we do outdoor stories. Like what?
Oh yeah, let's hear about your
What's
outdoor
Chris
story,
got
Chris.
for outdoor story?
Well, you
Adventure.
did ask me that one if I had any hunting or fishing stories, and I don't really do that often. But a while back, in my much younger days, we had a guys' weekend, and we decided we were going to go camping and fishing at I think it was Mineral Lake. And me and my roommate at the time, we got there, and it was dark because we got off late because we had to work. And we had no idea where the campground was. We knew the name of it, but we couldn't find it in the dark. So we were just driving around and trying to find it. And we see this house and the lights are on. And we figured, hey, we'd had a few. And so we thought, well, we'll just go ask these people. They live here. They'll know. And so we go and knock on the door. And this gal comes to the door, and she's just, looks like she was just having dinner or something. And she says, yeah, can I help you? And we said, well, we're looking for a campground. Is there anyone around here? And she started talking, and then we hear in the background this guy, and he's like, who is it? What do you want?
Dun, dun, dun.
And then we're like, they're just looking for directions. And the guy gets up and he walks to the door, and this guy is probably 6'3".
Oh, so he's the better Master Blaster guy.
He's the big guy. But the best part was,
Pull it back in.
I don't know what time it was, probably 11 o'clock at night, maybe even. This guy, she's fully dressed, she's, whatever. He's just standing there in his tighty whities.
Yeah.
Big gut, just standing there. What do you want? And we're like, we just want to find the campsite that we're looking for. Here's the name of it. And he goes, you going to buy any worms? And we're like, what? He goes, we sell worms. You going to buy worms? And we're like,
No, hey, no free info on this.
yeah, I guess.
Right.
So we said, if we buy worms, can you, and then she finally shooed
We got
him off.
worms.
Yeah, that's what he said. He just kept yelling, we got worms. You going to buy worms? And that's all we cared. And I'm like, okay, we'll buy some worms. But that's, it kind of died there at the storyline. But the best part was there's this guy,
Yeah.
deliverance guy, who we thought,
He just sells worms.
Or
He's
he
just trying to
sells-
sell them worms.
yeah,
They aren't even night crawlers.
we're
They're
going to
just
be
little creeper crawlers.
We're going to be worm food.
Yeah, we might do what if that was it? Worm food.
That's what we would have been.
That's good. That'd be good for him too. Free, okay.
Fertilizer, and those would have
I
been
like that.
really good worms too.
So you're from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're from the 80s, I'm gonna test you real quick with your music
Okay.
choices. Okay, you're running bar. You're running.
Oh, yeah, he does flip over the stations. He
Yeah.
doesn't like my stations.
Yeah, you're running the bar. Sean leaves. What is your go-to to get people to drink a little bit more? What 5 songs are you playing to get that feeling going? We're gonna say it's a Saturday night, not like a Wednesday or Thursday. It's a Saturday night. People are in and out. What are you playing?
Well, I'm a classic rock guy. Well, classic rock meaning now it's
Metallica is classic rock now.
well, that's what I'm going to say. I mean, now it's stuff in the 90s is classic rock now, but I'm talking 70s and 80s or even early 80s, but mostly 70s. So I'm putting on a little Boston,
Okay.
maybe
Eh.
I think Creedence is a good one.
Okay.
It's
on my
That
playlist.
style. So yeah, any song from them. And then, sorry, hit it again.
Yeah, quit hitting that dang thing.
To edit it out. damn
Just
it.
edit it out. Yeah, I like the harder stuff, so I would put on Metallica, but I don't know if that's
You don't want to put on some Crew? I mean,
I don't know
it's
if-
from the 80s.
well, sure, but
Two Live?
Motley.
Motley, baby.
No, I don't know if that. I try to
Get some tops off,
I try to keep it
Beer tops.
more universal.
Uh-huh.
I think most people like classic rock that hear it, so they're not afraid of it.
Not too bad, no. Some Boss. Would you play the Boss a little bit? Little
Yeah,
Bruce?
I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, I would, but
I go
you
for
big
Bruce
fan of
over
the Bruce?
Boston.
You big fan of the Boss?
Back when I was a kid, I was. I
Really?
played that tape deck like it was nothing. My dad got
Cassette?
mad because I never used the stop. It'd be play and then rewind the whole time. I got spanked quite a few times
For listening
but not for listening, but for ruining the tape. Born in the USA.
Really?
Yeah, good album.
See, if I was going Bruce, I'd go even older.
Would you
than
go
that.
Cocktail with Tom Cruise?
No.
You're pouring friggin' drinks. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
you're not going to flip some bottles around? Come on now. You only wear it the first 3 times you practice.
Yeah. Who would? No.
So we're as we wind down with Chris, I will share a story. Okay.
Okay.
My wife loves this story. So Chris sold us a car a few years back.
Yeah, he didn't bring up where he was selling cars at when he moved up to Enumclaw. But
Yeah, where was it at?
Gambling Motors.
Gamblin' Motors. That's where
Chevrolet.
I went in there, and I'm a buddy of Tyson, so I go in there and I'm like, hey Tyson, and he's like, hey, Chris will help you. I'm like, and see, I'm new, so I'm like, oh, I thought you were gonna help me, and so I got this Chris guy, and then I'd probably do what everyone has ever asked him, like I'm sure this is a top 5 question that you get every time someone hears your full name, and they're like, you're like, yeah, hey, I'm
mom a
Chris
teacher?
Streuli, and I go, oh, like Mrs. Streuli from the Enumclaw Middle School, the junior high, and then you're like,
Southwood Elementary.
well, Streuli Farms, and that's where and then you go through your
Well, the people your age,
Yeah.
you youngins,
yes,
everybody knows her because anybody who lived in town because she was the teacher. So everybody knows Mrs. Streuli
Yeah.
as the teacher.
and
But
so
I predate her in the Streuli family because she married my uncle.
and then she came in and she
After the-
she hijacked the
Yeah,
name.
His second
She
wife.
hijacked the name.
Yeah,
and
so
you're
that-
angry about it.
No, I'm not angry about it. I'm just saying,
You're the original Streuli,
I was there before. Yeah.
the OG Streuli. So we go for this drive in this Dodge Journey that he's kind of like really, hey, this is the new car, or this is the
that a
car that came
minivan?
in. Yeah, we didn't want the minivan. We wanted to get
Journey's like almost like a station wagon /
bigger SUV-ish,
SUV.
or a bigger station wagon, smaller SUV. Yeah. And we're driving, and I'm excited. Like, I'm a guy, I can't wait. I just got to go. And I want to just buy it. Like, okay, let's just buy it. And I didn't want anything to stop me. Like, nothing. Like, if the check engine light, I'd be like, get that checked out. But, knock a little money off. But I wanted this thing. My wife, though, she heard this, like, this whole time. And she's like, I don't know. I don't. And when me and Chris are looking at her like she's crazy because I don't hear this thing, and he's probably wanting to make the sale, so he's like, yeah, I don't hear it either. And so we pull in, and my wife's like, could you guys look at that though? Could you guys really take a look at that? And so we're getting the paperwork going, and sure enough, Chris comes back and said, you've got the greatest hearing probably in the history of. And it was this like old what's that nature like it was a granola bar wrapper that was just like lodged like
in
the vent like
And then the wind was blowing it.
and
Tick,
yeah
tick, 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 tick.
and so anyway that's so then he was the hero
Yeah.
and he got a sale out of it, and then later down the road see him here at I think I bought my other car, did I buy the Spark from you?
I don't think so.
Maybe, I don't know. I know I did
little
because I heard
gopher
about
car?
your heart attack.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you were coming back from it. I think you were coming back from it.
Yeah, there was a few times when I was in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I officially left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we said a spoiler alert. We didn't really talk about your freaking heart attack at all. Do you want to briefly talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I mean, how much time do you
Go
need?
for it. I mean, like 5-ish.
Yeah. So Christmas of 2016, day after we work, of course, selling cars, and I'm at the shop, and that would have been a Monday, I believe, because I had Tuesdays off. So it was one of those things where you have Christmas and then you have to work a day and then you get a day off. And so I was working that day, and I got off at 3, but it was about 2 o'clock, and I said, man, I'm not feeling good. And I'd had the flu before, and I thought, well, it's probably just another flare up. And so I went upstairs to my boss and said, hey, can I get out of here? I'm not feeling good. And he goes, hey, do me a favor, go to the doctor, go to the clinic, whatever, get a shot, take a pill, whatever, just so we don't want you to get pneumonia.
Right.
We don't want a flu, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I never go to the doctor ever.
Yeah, me neither.
And so
I never do.
went to the clinic,
does?
went to the clinic and there was a line because it's flu season, right?
Yeah.
Not COVID season, flu season, back when we had one of those.
So still flu season.
Yeah. And so we were sitting there, and I'm just telling my wife, I'm like, it feels like it's getting worse. And she goes, that's weird. So she says, well, let's just go to the hospital. And
Where was the hospital?
Enumclaw.
Okay.
So we go into the Enumclaw hospital, and as we're pulling in, she goes, kind of jokingly says, tell him you have chest pains. You'll get right in. So we don't have to wait in line. I'm like, oh, okay. So I tell them that. And of course,
Did you say your last name?
No, they did. Oh, do you know any relation?
That's what gave you the chest pains.
Well, yeah, any relation? Like how many different? Yeah.
For the 1000th time.
Yeah.
I'm the original Streuli.
Yeah. No. And so I get in, and the next thing you know, I'm on the table and they got the EKG, which I never heard of before.
Yeah.
And the guy comes up to me and says, "Have you ever had a heart attack before?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "Oh, well, you're having one now." Just kind of nonchalantly like that, like, "Oh, by the way." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And after that, so that's the day after, second day, so 27th. Then I get bussed up because
So you stay in the hospital.
I'm in Enum Closet.
Okay, all right.
They can't do anything there because they're not set up for heart attacks.
Sure.
Like that.
Okay.
So I've got to go. They're like deciding, do I go to St. Joe's or do I go to St. Francis and Federal Way? It's King County, but do we use Pierce County? They're arguing about who's going to get the money for the ambulance and all that. And I'm like, well, could you guys hurry up and make a decision here? You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, they decide to send me up to Federal Way. I get to Federal Way. Doctor says I can't do anything. His diabetes, I found out I was diabetic, and he says your diabetes are so bad that it's starting to attack your other organs, and so there's nothing we can do. So they started calling next to
Oh my God.
So they started calling next to kin. And so I've had family coming in and everything. And turns out I didn't know this because I was totally out, but I'd flatlined twice. So yeah, so I went down for the count twice.
Oh my gosh.
Came back. The guy made a phone call to the University of Washington. They took me in, and I was in the hospital for a couple of months. They put me on what they call an LVAD, which is like a pump that pumps your heart, because my heart was only at 15%, so I couldn't.
So you're just in bed this entire time?
Yeah,
Wow.
ICU rooms are very nice. When you get out of there and they put you in general population, which I called it, into the regular rooms, it's a totally different deal. If you've ever been to a hospital and just been in a regular room, you get to the ICU and you're like, if I have to be in the hospital, this is okay.
Yeah.
Because they're always there. So I was there for a couple months. I had the pump, and then I had to on a waiting list for 6 months to get some things squared away before I could get put on the heart transplant list. And then August of 17, I got put on the list, and by September 8th, I had a new heart.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Boom.
Did they call you up and just like, hey, we got a heart for you?
The gal calls me up. I'm at work because now I'm back to work because I was hooked up, and you wear battery packs
Yeah.
that run the pump.
Like on a vest or something?
Yeah, they're like two big LED batteries that you wear inside your shirt, and so I'm battery powered, and
Can't go on any flights, I'm guessing.
no, you can't really go anywhere. The cool thing is though, is if we lose power, then they have to get my house up because.
Oh, really?
Well, when I'm at home,
Yeah.
I plugged into the wall.
Oh.
I wasn't hooked up to batteries, so I was literally plugged into the wall.
Crazy.
And then, so then I go to, I get my heart, and then a year later, I have complications from my blood flow, and then I had all my toes on my left foot cut off. So I got a half a foot.
Half a foot.
So
Still coaches soccer.
I still get out there.
Do you putt it farther? And now you can kick. They always tell you, don't kick with your toes, kick with the inside of your foot. Now you can just,
Well, I have no choice.
yeah, you just club that thing.
Yeah. But you know what? It's funny because it's not actually, that doesn't feel really good.
Oh, because it's
That guy, I don't know what he had in that shoe because
the kicker.
he had to have a steel
Yeah,
toe
it was
or something.
like cut. Yeah.
Well, it was just like mine, but he had to have a steel toe or something because there's no way. I even bump it when I don't have my shoe on, just bump it.
Is it like stubbing your toe?
It's just, no, it just is a weird feeling.
Oh.
It's a weird feeling. There's a lot of nerve and stuff going on.
Huh.
But now I'm just, everything's cool.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that you were able to
And that's why he's an
take
amazing
all that. Employee,
beer tender.
Yeah.
beer tender.
I always have a good
Volunteer
story.
beer
People
tender.
ask, oh, yeah, buy another beer. I'll tell you the story.
I like it.
It's like a 2-beer story.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. And you guys can check out Chris at Cole Street Brewery, 1627 Cole Street. And then when you guys are up and running with both locations, where's he going to be primarily located?
Oh, it's going to bounce between the two. I'm
Okay,
sure.
so check 'em out.
Be both sides.
The floater.
You'll
The
probably be down
yes.
there for event nights at the brewery when we bring back, trivia nights.
Flipping bottles and doing the old cocktail experience.
Yeah, when he needs the A-team. Calls in the A-team.
Excellent. Well, cool. Go say hi. Go mention you listen to the episode. Do you want him to? Do you want to like if they listen and they don't just tell you that, but like, is there like some like keyword? Is there some like passcode that they could?
The real Streuli.
Ooh, the real Streuli, the OGs. Yeah, the real Streuli.
The real Streuli.
That's it. So if you want him to know that,
I don't know if they really, would appreciate. I don't think she'll listen. But,
I think she's probably one of the 90. Yeah. Well, then say it quietly to him.
Put an in front of it. A real Streuli.
Real Streuli. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. We got shout outs real quick.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out Travis Johnson and his wife Jennifer.
Yeah, they joined the podcast page. Who are they?
They've been great, loyal supporters for a long time. They come to our trivia nights and big time supporter, always wearing our swag. During COVID times, before Chris came on to help me, Travis came and volunteered, running food for me, so I could stay behind the bar and pull taps. He ran food for me. Yeah, and then I didn't realize it till the other day when
Starts liking stuff and
yeah, it was several episodes ago. But when I mentioned I had a video of you, he stopped by and he's like, "Hey, I have to see that video."
I don't want to talk to you.
He was the first one that's asked for that video.
I don't want to talk to you about
so-
Pokemon Go right now. I'm a little angry.
Yeah, just because I stomp you. I mean.
A little angry, but I might have a mystery to reveal to you on one of these shows.
I'll hold my breath.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, everyone. My shout outs is to Chris for hooking it up with the old Dodge Journey, as well as hooking it up tonight. Also, like to shout out the doctor that hooked him up to an EKG and helped him go and get the right diagnosis.
Dr.
And
Masri.
didn't just send him home. Just say, "Oh, you're fine."
No, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Send
Or it'll
him
go
home.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
Take
I
some
almost
nitro.
went home, though, which would have been a bad move
Yeah.
if I would have stayed home and not went to the doctor. So, public service announcement.
Listen to your
Get
body.
a checkup once a year at least. You never know.
Only if you graduated in '83.
You never know.
And shout out to Kellen Hall for sending me that question the other day about the sours.
Yeah, I touched on the sours. We'll get to the farm styles maybe in a couple episodes. Or somewhere along the way.
Yeah, because this may be released later in life. So, all right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. Check out the podcast page. Go check out the new swag, as Chris had said. And then also give them some, if you want to get those booty shorts or you want to get that
Yeah,
tank
if you have
top.
any ideas, obviously we have tank tops coming, but that's more summertime, like July, August.
Right.
And shorts, same thing. But if you have any other ideas, we're always open for ideas.
Absolutely. Tell them what you want, what you really, really want. And maybe Chris will play that song for you as you drink a beer. Have a great week, everyone.
All right, cheers.
Making your
Bye.
way in the world today, you really need a pod. Why don't you put your headphones in and give this one a shot? Wouldn't you like to just listen away and go to a place where everybody knows who you are? Listen to Two Guys Brew, ha ha. Cold Street Brewery and Full Buddy Cast, two of the greatest names. Why don't you go and listen to this episode